Hello and welcome to Drawing Under the Influence with me, Daffyd Wagstaff, your host, and Matthew Squato Waddingham, who tells me what to do. If you haven't seen one of our episodes or shows before, this is going to be interesting for you. The basic premise is that Squato has got several items for me to draw. However, I have to take a drink before I draw each one, and I've only got 10 minutes in which to draw the items in. Sometimes I go over, sometimes I'm under. It all depends on how drunk I am at the time. Considering this is my 5th drink in as many drawings, there's a very, very faint chance that I'm drunk right now. So, we'll just have to go from here.
We're doing it live.
Doing it live and recording it on YouTube, so it's not precisely live.
Or the YouTube.
Right, so if I remember correctly, I've done 6, 7, 12 and 1. I'm actually keeping ahead of the numbers this time, which is surprisingly odd for me. Right, so let me just do this drink. Please relax to the sounds of Strauss in the background whilst I just imbibe on this nice drink. This is going to be one of the classiest shows for getting drunk off your arse ever. Squato.
I'm just literally making no comments to any of this.
Oof. Right.
And remember, one of your images was an obedience school image.
Yes. So, I believe I will do number 9. Number 9. Let me get the right tool and be on the right screen. That always helps. So, what am I drawing for this one?
Right,
Z, we are so classy, Z. We are so classy, okay?
I'm just making sure I've got the correct details on this one. Because I went for a few ones. Okay. A cat sitting atop an automatic vacuum cleaner. So, robot vacuum cleaner.
That sounds familiar.
Yes, that meme.
That meme. So I'm gonna have to put my usual drunk spin on it, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you got the timer all set up?
Go for it.
Ready?
Yep.
And begin.
Yeah. So, final push for what I'm sort of mockingly saying about the stupidity of this movie is basically when she finds out, she gets the foreign contaminant out, she has a baby, it turns out, by that stage, it's a fully grown, you come close to this, squid.
Yeah. Fun times.
That squid later gets raped. I'm not joking on that, by the way. It also becomes a plot point later on. And this is also roughly when she discovers that Waylon is actually very much alive. And then he goes over to the facility because reasons. Where he dies. Because they wake up one of the space doctors.
Yes.
It turns out that they not only were the ones that created all of life on planet Earth, which I call bullshit on anyway because they show green plant life when they created life, but apparently we don't question logic like that in this movie. So yeah, apparently they created life on Earth, they created humans, they were shaping human culture for millions of years going by the information they go with. And yes, I'm saying that because they basically imply that these creatures never change for such a long period of time. And yes, I constantly will be bitching on this because of how terrible it is, because fuck this movie.
Right. So in summation, terrible movie, don't watch.
No, I will say, watch this movie with a group. Share the pain.
Right. So, shall we move on? Because you've literally bitched about this movie for about three episodes.
This movie is just terrible. It keeps building on. You think it can't get any worse, and it builds worse.
Oh dear.
Right. Never will be doing that. I know in future. The latest Fantastic Four, and I'll give you a reason as to why I say it's going to be this bad. You know the catchphrase of the Thing, which is "It's Clobber and time."
Yeah.
The new version of the Thing. He says that because he was the person that used that term to him before him. His older brother, when he used to bash him up as a kid.
Oh, of course. Because you can't take something that kids have enjoyed for countless years without screwing it over and giving it a tragic backstory.
Pretty much. And that's why the general feeling is from people is, when does Marvel get this again? Fox will probably try to cut some type of deal, or if they can't sell, try to salvage it for a time, but they'll try to cut a deal where they basically going to fix up something on the floor. Yeah, they'll still do what they're doing with Spider-Man, which is that they'll just figure, oh, good news with the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
The new one we'll be getting, which his apparent first showing will actually be in Captain America 3, the Civil War movie.
Yeah.
Spider-Man will be not getting a origin story in movies.
So he's just going to have always been there, sort of in the background.
Yes, he will always have just been there.
So,
Thank fucking Christ.
So I might have taken a little liberties with this with this particular image, but I think I've added something to it, a little killerfish flair. So what is my time looking at?
The time is 4:40.
Plenty of time.
So yeah, people are basically who were saying that the original Fantastic, the original one was terrible, the one that was never actually released. People who say it was a good movie, wasn't. It had heart behind it, but that was kind of the limit of it because the actors were not really that great.
No.
It also, for most of the last section, it literally ripped off the old Superman cartoons. And in the Superman cartoons, you see Superman punching a laser beam.
Because
in
science.
In that Fantastic Four movie, that also happened. Where the 2005 whatever Fantastic Four movies really work, they generally have good actors in there. Particularly the guy that's playing the Thing. He actually brings a lot of gravitas and pain to the role, which the new version doesn't do any of that.
Because screw that, we can just have him beaten up by his older brother.
Mm-hmm.
I find this background music very amusing to have to a picture of legs, literally me scooting around on a Roomba with a shark on my head. Yeah, I went down that route.
Because of course. And because of communism. Oh, the other thing that people are really saying they hate, and this is the unsurprising part about this movie, the new Fantastic Four movie. Terrible, terrible, terrible Victor Von Doom. He's not actually Victor Von Doom anymore.
Who is it?
He's a hacker.
Oh. This is why you don't mess with the formula, man.
This is why it was also particularly funny with Julian McMahon, because for those people who were not aware, Julian McMahon is the son of an Australian Prime Minister. He actually grew up in a household where they were very much experiencing on a daily basis high level what it's like to be in a family that is high level political office. So he kind of could draw upon that experience to play someone like Victor Von Doom. The new guy has none of that.
Yeah.
So, terrible. Oh, talking about bad movies, and how I sort of had to laugh when you joked about with copyright beforehand. There's an anti-piracy group which is basically sending out a mass load of cease and desist orders for any organisation that's using the word pixels.
What?
Because that's copyright that's owned by Adam Sandler's film production company. And if you didn't want more reason to hate him.
Has he actually copyrighted the word pixels now? He's not got a leg to stand on if he thinks he can take that to court.
Potentially, I think they might have. Well, they probably would have anyway, but it would have been just limited to his film if they were smart. Because the term is too generic.
Yeah, that's the point. It's a too generic a term, so you can't copyright it.
And of course, since we're saying this, you'll have someone go, the movie has voxels? That's what they're doing? We don't care.
Has anybody actually seen the movie? I mean, literally, has anybody seen the movie at all, ever?
Well, basically, I haven't because I don't give a shit.
What's my time on this one?
Your time is 9:15.
I shall sign it and move on to the next.
So,
Yep, that's what's playing in the background of the music, Squato. You are missing out. This is so amusing. Right, I shall move on to the next one. Oh dear, what am I on now? I can't even remember what the number is that I just said. Right, right, so, this is part of the show where I take another drink.
Apparently one of the things that got the takedown order for using the word pixels was the short film, which apparently was actually the basis for the movie Pixels.
The short film Pixels, which is the one that gave Adam Sandler the inspiration to do the movie Pixels.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't do that. You can't take inspiration from a movie and then try to take down that movie. That is not how it works, Mr. Sandler.
Which is even more hilarious because of the fact that they basically gave the guy that created that short film $1 million to turn his one into a feature film, plus unspecified amount of money to hire that guy to be the director for about 18 months before they replaced him with someone else.
I bet he's so proud of what's finally put on the screen. How it just matches his original vision so well.
Actually, he's happy about the movie. He just doesn't feel it was as good as it could have been. But he's happy because he got to see what it requires to make Hollywood films.
Yeah. Right, so...
Also, credit to the guy that directed the original Pixar short film. He got a couple of $1 million from Hollywood. Of course that makes me happy.
Pardon me. So... Well, of course they tried to sue him then, because they gave him money originally and they want to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Hopefully I should not have the same problem with breathing that I've been having in the past few videos. I've been trying to breathe out of my mouth.
So, Vader?
Yes. And on the suggestion of Wolf Genesis, also known to us as Zeph, who's a friend of the show, that he should draw with me on his end. I think that's a good idea. I encourage more people to draw. However, I should point out that maybe in some future episode you can draw with me. Just leaving that out there, man. Just leaving it out there. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to go. Right. So, I just did number 9, didn't I?
Yeah.
Number 4 then.
War over a bucket of cookies.
War over a bucket of cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me a second here. Da, da, da,
This is
da,
from
da, da.
a ski, so you're open to characters.
I'm open to characters.
You're open with all details.
I'm going to change it from a bucket of cookies to a plate of cookies. You know, just mix it up a little bit there.
That's right.
Right, are you ready? Begin.
Yep.
Tell you one thing, doing these really fast has really actually forced me to up my game a whole lot. Who's in the stream right now?
People. I'm being truthful.
Right, we've got Zeph in the stream right now. So Zeph is over this side. We've got we've got a Zod who's in the pond apparently. So there's the pond there. I'm going to draw you like Zod from the actually good Superman movie.
So the one that keeps his head. Well, I will say this. At least he's ahead of the game.
Kneel before Zod. Yeah, this one's going to be very sketchy.
Remember, he's invading planet Houston.
Houston. So Lass, who's going to be looking at Zod for like being in the pond. This isn't very much a war. This is pretty much just KF screws about with the image. This does not count to any images for the day because I'm doing it on somebody who's in a stream who happens to like mermaids.
I just can't think of any comments to make on this one.
So let's actually do the war bit. That's oh, come on. Why aren't you letting me draw anymore? Oh, because you're making me draw in white for some bizarre reason. And what Zeph has here is a lollipop gun for some reason. It fires lollipops at people. It makes sense in my head.
Can't find something else that's worth trying to talk about. Or at least that's just not depressing.
Of course, Squato over here. I think I've just literally making stuff up as I go along here. With his broken sword. Mind you, if people didn't want to see me make stuff up as I go along, so they wouldn't have been coming to watch me draw in the first place. So
Bit of a side, well, because of the fact we're doing the cookie war, I'm reading what the logic people are giving behind why they support Trump to be president. Logic is he's patriotic because patriotism is important. If they don't have patriotism as a country, then their country is doomed.
I steals the cookies. Whilst you're too busy playing Team Fortress to take the cookies, I steals them.
Also, apparently he's the least idiotic president, potential president wannabe, so therefore that's why they support him.
What's the time on this one?
Time is 5:25.
I'm not going to have enough time to ink all of that. I'm just going to go for it.
Okay, too much stupid on that discussion for Trump supporters. Also, apparently the astronauts on the ISS will be actually able to make eat their own food that they're growing on there from now on. Starting next week.
Because
Science, bitches! Real science, not that shit.
so that's way too
Oh, for the record, one suggestion I could have been crazy enough to throw into you was do the basis for a straight out of thing, because you saw that link I provided you about that, didn't you?
probably. Sorry, I'm very incoherent at the moment, and
Basically, a meme that's going on at the moment is that someone's writing, sending out an order, or putting out an autobiography. They're going to do a bit of a filming for it, and it's using the title straight out of Compton, because it's basically playing with the title of that classic rap hip-hop album from the early 90s.
right. Okay.
So people have basically been playing that for the last few days in a rather crazy, interesting style.
What's my time on this one? Have I?
You've got 7:45 down.
And here's where we get fun. I was distracted by cookies. You don't have to be clever to be random, Zeph. You just need to be random to be random. True fact.
You either embrace it or you don't.
Okay, I think I'm going to call it there because I'm not sure where I was going with this one.
You didn't even make it to 9 minutes.
No. Killer fish. And thank you for coming and watching the show. This has been Daffyd Killerfish Wagstaff, my co-host Matthew Squato Waddingham. If you have anything you think I should be drawing for the show, as you can see, it can go completely off the rails. But please do send your suggestions in to drawingundertheinfluence@gmail.com, and we shall see you next time.